What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to talk about how I went from 0 to 200 miles with no training in 1 month. This is an overall map of 0 to 200 miles during my first month, which is about 7.8 marathons and roughly 400,000 steps. This is the improvement side. This is one of my first 5-mile runs, and this is one of my last 5-mile runs. As you can see, there's been a lot of improvement over the past month. Essentially, this video is just a recap of my first month of running 200 miles, and it highlights the slowest and fastest times, and it will also describe why I decided to start this channel, what I've learned from running 200 miles, and how I can apply that into tips and tricks for people that are just wanting to start getting into running, and then where I see this channel going in the future. Why did I start this channel? Essentially, I saw myself in a stagnant position. And this past year and even this summer, I started to notice, I wasn't working out as much as I used to be. I wasn't in this crazy shape that I used to be, and it really started taking a toll on me. I was like, man, I really need to get back into it. And I essentially thought about this idea of, maybe I could run to work and back every day, which seemed crazy at the time because, it's 10 miles and nobody wants to do 50 plus miles every week. But I was like, man, this would be a great idea because it'll force me to work out every day and therefore get back in shape. And that's kind of where I am. What have I learned during this past month of running 200 miles? And man, let's just say there's way too much to fit into one video, but I'm gonna go into what I think is the most important to do in order to do this much mileage and not injure yourself and stay healthy. First of all, let's just go ahead and talk about the body. And so what do I mean about the body? I mean, essentially what I was doing in the beginning of this journey is I wasn't stretching at all before my runs or after, and that is just a terrible idea. Not only will that lead to injury, but luckily it didn't happen to me, but it might happen to you or someone else. And so what I recommend is stretching or even doing yoga every day, because not only does it make the next day a lot easier to do, you're also not risking yourself of injury and lowering that chances significantly. So that's my first tip, is to always stretch before runs and after. And I've noticed that it helped me a lot because I did it the second half of my first month and I felt a lot better. The miles were feeling a lot easier. It was feeling like I could run, faster, and I would definitely recommend stretching to not only prevent injury, but also to make yourself feel better about running. When talking about the body, I'm not only talking about stretching, I'm also talking about what you put into your body. So I found by eating healthier and limiting myself on junk food that I tended to perform a lot better. So I would definitely recommend doing that. I'm not saying you got to cut out junk food, but I'm going to say you're going to want to limit yourself and replace it with something that's a little healthier, because it will make you run a lot better and feel a lot better when you're running. And another thing I want to highly recommend is to drink a gallon of water a day, or if not, just drink a lot of water, because you want to be hydrated during these runs. You don't want to be dehydrated. It just makes your run a ton harder, and if you're hydrated, it's a lot easier. Also, during this heat, you don't want to risk yourself getting heat stroke or dehydration, so I would definitely recommend doing that. From the body, my next tip is going to be investing in yourself. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you're going to want to buy the right gear before you get into this running journey. I made the mistake of not buying new shoes and trying to tough it out because I simply just didn't want to spend the money. But I highly recommend against this, because running in these old shoes that are not meant for long distances will just put an unnecessary toll on your body, and it is definitely not healthy for the body. So I'm gonna recommend immediately buy new shoes, because the new technology will not only be better for your body and put less soreness and toll on your body, but also make you run a lot faster. And that is by far my biggest mistake during this journey, was not investing in myself. Moving on from investing in yourself, I'm not going to talk about the mental side of running and telling yourself no. There's going to be days during this journey where you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, man, I just don't want to run today. I can't do it. The weather outside is way too hot. I do not want to run today. But you got to tell yourself, no, I'm going to run today. And you got to get up and do it anyways. This is important because if you say yes and give into it, then you're not going to run, and you're not going to improve, and you're not going to see any change within yourself. So by telling yourself no, you're going to start seeing improvement. And that's definitely the most important part of running, is not only being able to improve, but also being able to do it in a disciplined way where you're doing it like almost every day, or whatever goal you have set yourself for running every week or every month. Final tip is to make sure you're getting enough rest. I found this to be one of the more beneficial tips because I noticed in the beginning I wasn't sleeping as much, so my body was a lot more sore and I wasn't really giving my body enough time to recover. And then during the second half, I started focusing on, okay, like let me get to bed earlier. Let me cut off TikTok, Instagram Reels, and turn that off and go to bed earlier. And what I found is that my body was feeling a lot better and more recovered the next day. So not only was I feeling better, but I was also running faster times, and I just found this to be very, very beneficial. Finally, where do I see this channel going in the future? So as of right now, I see myself continuing what I'm doing right now, but not only that, but adding on additional workouts after running the 10 miles every day. And this way I will see more muscle growth, upper body, and not only just cardio. I don't feel like doing cardio is just enough. I feel like you need to really make your workouts flexible and make sure you're working out every part of your body. I find this to be very beneficial, so I plan to look forward on doing that. And also, I just have seen myself a lot happier during this whole time. I found it to be super beneficial, and I don't really see myself going back the way I was because I've seen a lot of improvement within myself, and like I said, I'm just a lot happier. So much for watching today's video, and I hope you got something useful from this video. And also, if you have been working out for a while or been running for a while, or even know something that could be potentially beneficial for me fitness wise, please let me know. I'm always open to learning new things, and thank you so much.